Today is the day we get to bots. Hello, I'm Otto, and welcome to episode 29 of my Factorio Space Age Guide. So in the last episode, I lost sight. In the last episode, what did we do? We made some batteries, and we talked a lot about bots. In this episode, we are finally getting to the robots. We just need to make some robot unit frames first. So let's resupply while we're over here. Get a couple more belts. Do we need undergrounds? We always need undergrounds. We don't need that many though. Let's just top that off. Splitters, probably fine. Inserters are fine. Longhand inserters are fine. Power poles are fine. Substation's fine. We have enough assembling machines, and I don't think we need anything else. Maybe I'll remember to put lights in this time. I keep forgetting to do that, so we'll see. I'm not sure, so I spent a bit of time, and this is like literally one of the first times that I've ever done something off camera, but I did remove a lot of the roboports and power towers that were scattered around the zone. Because we're adding bots, I don't want to be flooded with power problems. And I was noticing that we were having some really intense pollution coming out of this guy, so maybe at some point I could put some efficiency modules in there. It doesn't really hurt. Like, it's kind of, it costs a bit of green circuits and red circuits, but what is it? 5 each? Yeah, that's a little on the harsh side, but you know what? It might help us with pollution. So possibly here and possibly here. I don't know. We'll see. I should be able to stay on top of the biters though. Ideally, I do not want to build a wall. Okay, let me take that back. We will probably build some kind of defense system. I'm gonna need some more grenades too. So we might need a defense system, but did I not ever build it? I never made a section to collect this. Well, I guess now's as good of a time as any, right? Alright, so I'm just gonna use the logistics chests. We could probably get away with the passives because we're not putting anything back in. Yeah, we might. That was nicely done. Okay, you know what? I don't actually want to do it that way. Yeah, let's do it like that. How do I want to limit this? I suppose I could do, like, say this one is gonna just do grenades. And then have another one that's just gonna do red ammo. Okay, so we need to filter these. That's ammo, that is walls, that is grenades. That way the bots don't put anything back into these chests. So that is probably plenty enough ammo. Okay, we need to get, okay. Moving along. We need to get to some, whatchamacallit, robot frames. Bleh. Flying robot frames. We are not going to need all this room, but we will eventually, so. I love being able to one-shot trees with a grenade. It's so satisfying. Even shooting rocks, like, that's, generally a waste of ammo. You might as well just mine it, but I don't know, it's fun. There was something else that I wanted to do this episode. Oh, I should have done it while I was over. Okay, we're gonna do this first, and then we are going to. Oh, should I do it now? No, we'll do it later. We're going to slightly fiddle around with quality. So not like exactly fiddle around with quality. What we're going to end up doing is, how did I end up with so many of these that weren't connected via the wires? Every now and then I just look up and it's like, oh yeah, these power towers did not have any of the blue and red connections. I mean, it's really not that important nowadays, but anyways. Okay, what do we need? So we're going to need quite a few items coming in. We are also going to need, where's it? Flying robot frames. So, let's take a look at what we need. So we need steel, we need batteries, we need green circuits, and we need electric motors. So obviously, a lot of the things that we've been making and pushing is what we need for flying robot frames. Let me use remote view. I'm going to line this up. I don't know what I'm going to line it up with, but we're going to line this up. Am I really all the way back here? Oh my goodness. So if I start with the robot frames there, then I can do some bot stuff up in the front. Okay, so we are going to set up some flying robot frames. So since we have so many ingredients coming in, we're going to have to do some of that funky belt work. That was too far back. And this, it doesn't... It doesn't really matter what we have coming in on what belt, but this one kind of matters. We're going to set green circuits on this one, and this is the only one that's like overly necessary to be here. We could probably get away with it not being there, but whatever. We need electric engine units. We need batteries. Steel. Okay, so we have green circuits and batteries coming here, splitting off and going down this way, and then underground to carry on here. And then we have steel and electric engine units branching off here and allowing to continue on there. So then we just need to match that on the other side. These need to go down. We're going to have long hands, so we need 2 sections to be able to grab that from. So what are we going to do with the flying robot frames? We are going to have to do some funny stuff, because what I'm thinking, what I think that I want, I kind of need to be able to split every single one of these. So if I were to split, say, in this direction, I were to split this here and allow oh my gosh, why am I having such a hard time saying this? Flying robot frames to continue this way. Actually, this needs to be one more over. And I might be able to pull some of this back. Actually, almost certainly not be able to pull some of this back. Like this? Alright, let's see if it works here. So I need to split. One goes this way, merges onto this left lane. This one goes underground. that. I know it's going to look goofy having like 2 belts of flying robot frames, but you know what? It is what it is. And this was just largely not necessary. This was also largely not necessary, but sorry, we need it for copy and paste purposes. So actually, let's just go ahead and do that, and then we can fill it in later. Yeah, there, perfect. And then we can fill all that in after. Okay, so the point of doing this is we need some robots. So what do we need for robots? For logistics bots, we need flying robot frames, which we have coming in here. And we need red circuits. So let's get some red circuits in. Something like that. We are going to have a chest for them to go out into. And then we also need a roboport. So what do we need the roboport for? The roboport is what houses the robots. So the robot stacked to 50, and this will contain 350 robots. We can also request in robots, which is kind of a neat thing. And then this section here is for repair packs. So we are not going to worry about some of this just yet. We need to kind of match what we have on the other side. And then this is going to be Logi bots and construction bots. Okay, so construction bots, what do we need for construction bots? So we need green circuits and we need flying robot frames. The flying robot frames are easy. Those are just here, and the green circuits will be on this line. And that will be being fed into it here. And that is why I needed the green circuits on this side. Okay, so that's effectively most of what we need. Now we just need to bring some stuff in. We need the connections. These will just go out here. And bringing stuff in, you kind of know what this looks like by now, if you've watched my other videos. We're not going to be able to cover everything with this, but whatever. That's good enough for me. And then we can get a power tower, or we can get a small power pole there, one there, and unfortunately we're going to have to like bring that over like that. What else do I need? Eventually we're going to have to get yellow signs in here. So this build is going to be a little less modular. It will still be modular, so I was thinking about it, and I was like, here, let me just set some of this up while I'm talking. I was thinking about how we were going to set this up, and I was like, okay, well, what could I possibly do to bring in, like, I not possibly, I have to be able to bring in yellow science here, but is it going to be less modular? Well, yeah, it is. So we could continue on with these in this direction, and then at some point we will set up yellow, I don't know, somewhere down here. Well, yellow is also going to need its own materials. So, where is yellow science? There it is. So yellow science is going to need flying robot frames. Hey, we have that covered. And it's also going to need processing units and low density structure. So I don't know if you remember in a past video, I mentioned that I think that whenever we make low density structure and the processing units, the blue circuits. So I'm gonna have a dedicated, like this section here, this is purely dedicated just for rockets. This is not going to serve any other purpose other than feeding these rockets. Same with the rocket fuel, like all of this here only. But we need more for the rest of the builds. We need some for yellow science, we need some in the mall for like this guy back here and some of these over here. So we do need to bring in some processing units and low density structures. So I will have another build, you know, somewhere out here that will drag that through, and all of that will be on the same line. So that will probably just have to wiggle its way in. Let's say something like this. Excuse me. What the? What was that? You know, we'll bring it in something like that, and then we can split off like this. And then continue down the line. So then we would have, I don't know. That is not what I wanted. You get the idea, though. We can make this work. Oh, still not gonna work. Anyways, even if it has to look janky, we're gonna make it work, right? I suppose at some point... No, because I still also want to keep the option of, if we needed more of these later down the line, we could copy, paste, and then maybe more yellow signs. Like it would just be better to leave this kind of somewhat modular, or as modular as possible. Okay, so... outputs for these. Inputs. Okay, is that it? This did not connect. You know what? I think I had a little bit... I think I had this a little bit closer whenever I tested it, but you know what? Whatever. It is what it is. So then at some point, yellow will come out this way. Again, you know what? We'll figure that out when we get there. We'll keep them all lined up. Or do I want... I actually want this coming in this way, so... like that. Bet you didn't think we'd be prepping for yellow science here, did you? Okay, so... we need to get these connected. We are 19 minutes into this. So this is batteries and green circuits. Oof. This might be a problem. It might not seem like it might be a problem, but this is going to be a problem. This is not going to be a problem. Yeah, look at that. Problem solved. Okay. So we need some steel. Let's do this one first. Oh, no. It is going to be a problem. Because that's going to line up. Oof. Do I want to change literally everything? What is the least janky option that I have here? If I had steel come through here... steel would have to be... steel would have to be on the left-hand side. Actually, I'm pretty sure I don't need any of this. Oh, that's another thing that we need to do. We need to remove all of the ghosts that we are not going to use. Which, yes, that was included. We are not going to use that at all. We could always repurpose some of those lines, but for the most part, anything that we're not going to use, we need to get rid of. So I will speed through that at some point shortly. Okay, so let's make sure that this is going to work. That is obviously going to work. But what's not going to work is figuring out how, like, what in the world are we possibly going to do to get in? What did I need? Batteries? Batteries are like way back here, right? Did I even add batteries to the bus? I did not. We never even added sulfuric acid. Oh, go me. Perfect. Hey, this is an episode about getting sulfuric acid to the from the bus. Like, just kidding. Okay, where is that sulfuric acid? It's on the bottom somewhere. Wait a minute, what? There it is. Wow. Welcome to how not to complete builds. A Factorio story. Okay, I mean, might as well drag something back with me, right? Okay, so where is our sulfuric acid input? Here? Right, I can stay like that for now. Oh my gosh, we have batteries. Yay, welcome to episode 28. See, this is why I like having... I like dragging this stuff through. Like, I don't want to have to, like, guess at where I'm supposed to be going. I would rather just look and see, okay, oh look, batteries. So that's the third one in. Actually, I don't... I think we might have to split this later. Alright, so let's get this back, at least in this direction. Oh, geez. Oh my goodness. This is gonna be quite the situation. And it just keeps getting worse. Okay, that's fine. If we have to make it all janky, then we have to make it all janky. Alright, so this is gonna be... This is gonna be like that. I need to be able to... Well, this just keeps getting better and better. You know, and this whole, like, bringing it in and not doing... Wait a minute. How did I do this on the one side? So this is going through? Yep. Alright, that is gonna work. That is not gonna work. This one needs to go over. This one needs to go through. This one needs to go down. So this is a priority right. And then 1, 2, 3, priority left. So this goes here and then goes through. This goes here and then goes under. Okay. And then once this stops, this will fill up here. Okay. And then this just needed to be connected with the batteries. Woo! Make sure this works. Should go through and... Yep, okay. So that is that. So we should start seeing our first flying robot frames. Except we did not do any undergrounds here. Or here. Nice. Okay, please tell me we're good this time. We're good, right? I see stuff being made. Everything has outputs. We are going to need to get some red circuits in here as well. Whew, thankfully those are not too far away. So we can probably just... So what we're going to do is we'll just branch that off. Like, it doesn't matter that this is a full belt. As it comes down through here, it will just stop and then good to go. And our first robot. Okay, so we need to do some limiting. So we're going to limit this one, and we are going to limit this one. Let's hurry up and do that before we get too far. So we're going to limit this to construction bot. Let's do less than 100. This is 2 stacks. So they stack to 50. You can see stack size is 50. Rocket capacity is 50. Same thing with the logistics bots. Enable if logistics bots are less than 100. Okay, so that is part 1 of managing the production of robots. The next part is we need to attach the inserter that is pulling from the chest into the RoboPort. That goes for both of these. Now, why do we need to do that? So now that we have the RoboPort connected to the circuit network, we need to read robot statistics. This goes for both. So let's do that so I don't forget. Yeah, okay. So now we have all these signals that pop up over here. Signal X, Y, Z, T, and R. Generally, I don't really care how many RoboPorts there are in the network. That's largely to me, doesn't really matter. What we are aiming for, though, is the signal Y and the signal T. So we need the total robots that are in the system. And in this case, we're going to start with the construction bots. Total construction bots. So when we enable and disable this, so when we are going to enable if T, the total, enable if T is less than, we're going to start with 1,000. And for the Logibots, we're going to do the same thing with a different signal because we are now looking for the total logistics bots. We're aiming for Y. So we're going to enable this inserter if Y is less than, we're going to start with 500. I would say if you have a very heavy bot base and you're trying to logistically move things around, like let's say instead of building a bus/belt based mall like we did here, if you had a bot mall, or if you were, I don't know, a lot of people will kind of cop out on Gleba and try to just largely have, or even Fulgora, and largely have a bot-based mall. You're gonna want a lot of logistics bots. If you're doing a lot of like deconstruction and building, you want more construction bots. So early on, I tend to focus harder on construction bots, and then I don't really, I don't know if I even want to show a bot base because it really is kind of a cop out, and the closest that we will end up getting to that is probably cats. Is probably, I think Fulgora is usually where I'm the most bot heavy, and that's largely for like upcycling quality and stuff. And you know what? Speaking of quality, since I need to go get some roboports anyways to get some bots going, we are going to just kind of squeeze something together real quick. So, let's do some research. So let's do flammables, and we want flammables so we can get to rocketry because we are going to have some fun with this soon. And rocket fuel. We are going to want both of those, or all of those coming up shortly. And we are going to actually start using quality a little bit. So the first place, by far, the first place that you want to start using quality, and now, like, don't go ham on this. Don't go like crazy on this, because what will happen... Okay, let me just talk about where we're going to use quality first. The first place that you want to use quality is inside the assembler making quality. Because the quality modules, as you can see by the blue diamond next to the 1%, can also be quality. The quality modules start out at a 1% chance to give us quality, and it increases by 30, then 60, then 90, then 150% for uncommon, rare, epic, legendary. So more to the question of like, what does this percent mean? So we have two of these in here, and on the right hand side down in the corner, you can see that we have a 2% chance for quality. So what that means is we have a 2% chance that this quality module, when they're created, will become a green quality module. We are only allowed to go up to the blue quality, the rare quality, for now. Eventually we unlock the epic quality somewhere here. Epic quality is unlocked here with Gleba, agricultural science, and then the next, the final, the legendary, is unlocked with cryogenic science on Aquilo. So, we have a 2% chance when an item is made here that it will become a green quality item. And you also, so it increases by, or sorry, you get a kind of like 10% reduction, 10%? Either way, okay, so we have a 2% chance for this to become a green item. We have a 0.2% chance for it to become a blue item. So we want those extra quality modules, because if we had, say, 2 green ones, that's 1.3% chance. Doubled up is now a 2.6% chance rather than a 2% chance. So the way that the inserters will handle this is it is only set to look at a regular quality module or regular quality item, and we are going to use that to our advantage. I was hoping that maybe we would get at least a green one, but can I even manage this back here? Possibly. So we just unlocked rocket launchers. Do I have all the necessary materials? I have gears. That is not going to stretch. That is not going to reach. I don't know how janky I want to be with this, because this is not... Oof. Is that even going to work there? Iron plates and gears? I guess, because all I need is this here, so... yes, we are going to create this weird mess. We are going to put quality modules in here because I would like to get a nice quality rocket launcher. So, materials coming in here. Whatever. We're like, this is just temporary. We're not going to be holding on to this for very long. So I am going to connect this to the chest, and I'm going to tell it something different than what we've normally done. So I'm going to tell this, I want you to I want you to enable if a blue quality, I want you to enable if blue quality rocket launchers are less than 1. So what's going to happen is this assembler is now going to continue to create rockets or rocket launchers until there's a blue quality in here, at which case it will then stop, and then we can go away. A lot of these items, these are the best areas to use your quality. It's a little tough for me though because I'm such a habitual person whenever it comes to this. Like, I am the type of person that I want to use my, for instance, quality items for something special. So I end up holding off on using them. And then next thing I know, I have beaten the game and I haven't touched a single one. What was the purpose of me using them if I wasn't going to actually use them? So, and that's not entirely true. Like, I'm just saying from a general reference point, from a general perspective, um, that's basically how I end up handling situations like that, where if I have something rare, you're playing a first-person shooter, get like a funny, cartoonish first-person shooter game that has these like special grenades and they're very rare, well, then you just end up not using them. You maybe try to use them on the last boss and then you realize, oh, it doesn't work at all on the last boss. That means I've gone through this entire game without touching anything. So, anyways, enough about that. Let's end this video. So we're gonna let this craft for a bit. It is a little bit of a waste to not like to just make and make and make. But once we get to the other one, not a big deal, and we can always recycle them later. We are not going to be recycling those, by the way. We are just going to dispose of the evidence. Like, for all anyone else has to know, we landed that blue the first try. Oh, Future Auto here, or slightly Future Auto. I ended the video and then just realized I didn't even set up bots. Okay, so we're gonna grab some roboports. I need some more roboports. And I had a couple minutes to think about it. So you know what? Like, we have a lot of, most of what I don't want to be out here is belts. So I'm gonna do something pretty wild. Not wild, but we're gonna use the deconstruction planner, and I'm just gonna do mostly the belts before we get the bots going. Yeah, there's some other stuff that'll get caught, but actually I feel like this might be a bad idea. Maybe I should visibly be paying attention to it whenever I do this. So we're going to deconstruct sections like this, and then we're going to hold shift and re-enable. That way we can get rid of all these belts and the bots won't go crazy placing all of them. This is going to, like, we got to be careful because if we get rid of the roboports, for instance, that are in the middle, we don't want that, although it's not a big deal. We can just stamp them back down after. But we do want to get rid of some of this. So anyways, I'm going to do a lot of that off camera. So setting up the bots, we just have to put some roboports down. Easy. Where am I going? Should have hopped in the car. I need concrete. You know what? Maybe I'll do that off camera too. I'll just drag some concrete through here and help get rid of that. Hello. Yay, we have bots that are inactive because they're not connected to anything. Oh my goodness. So we're just gonna make a trail over there real quick and then back to wherever I was ending the video. Did I grab enough? I think I grabbed like 2 stacks. Two stacks should have been fine. 13 is plenty. Okay, we have connection. Where are the bots? There they go. Oh yes. Fly my little pretties. Okay, back to the video. Anyways, we are gonna end it there. If you have been enjoying my content, well, you know what to do. Also, be sure to join my Discord. Link is in the description. We have a very, very small community right now, but it is slowly growing over time. So, yeah, hop in and I will end up posting some regular updates at some point. Okay, we've already been having some conversations back and forth, and I am posting like when a new video comes out or my blueprints. My blueprints are no longer going to be available in the description. They are only going to be available on my Discord. Yeah, so that's going to be it for me. In the next episode, I think that we might play around with some military stuff. I think we're going to make a tank. We're going to make a kind of military. I say military setup. We're not talking about science. We're gonna make like a military setup for making rockets for us, making tank ammo. We're gonna make a tank. We're gonna make explosives. What else? We're gonna make some maybe some rocket fuel. I haven't quite decided on how we're gonna manage all the things. Ugh, cats again, really? Anyways, that's gonna be it for me for this episode. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.